Tensei Slime, aka that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Yes, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. So go ahead and grab your cup of coffee, tea, boba tea, whatever you want,
Beverage of
beverage of
choice.
choice. We're gonna it's gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a long one. All right, bro. So, how'd you come across that time I got reincarnated as a slime?
I originally heard of it when the first season originally aired. I don't remember when it was now, and the only reason I really knew about it at the time is because um, this was like the beginning of the ridiculously named isekais and fantasy animes uh, starting to come around. And I remember thinking, like, how would something with such a ridiculous name, ever be that good? And then when I was deep diving into all the different, really well known isekais and fantasies a couple years back, is when I finally gave it a chance. And I was rather disappointed in myself for having not watched it any sooner. So,
Oh, wow. Nice. So, the way I came across it, right, is
is I
I
kept
have
telling you to
this
watch it.
really annoying ass friend, right? That, like, honestly, I have to cut off soon. Like, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see.
Toxic, really toxic.
But, he keeps saying, dude, you gotta watch all the isekais. You gotta watch all the isekais. And I'm like, as a person, right? Whenever you want, like, just ignore something, right? So that they can just go away. You just say, yeah, bro, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a shot.
Oh
Anyways,
God.
it's been like this for years, right? But I kept seeing these clips, of Overlord, coming up multiple times. I'm like, damn, this actually looks pretty fire. This actually looks really interesting. So let me go ahead and give it a shot. So I ended up watching Overlord, right? That was the first anime I watched
First anime
from
you've
the
ever watched?
isekais. And then I was like, damn, this is actually really fucking good. And then I was like, let me go ahead and give that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and wow, I was actually fucking blown away by this anime. I gotta say, it's definitely broke one of my top favorite animes for sure. Um, it was really good, but that's basically how I came across it. It was basically me ignoring a friend that kept bugging me about it, and then I saw a couple clips about another different anime, and I watched that one, and then I ended
Another
up trying to
anime
give it a
he had been
shot.
telling you should watch for forever.
But yeah, that's how I came across it, and honestly, I gotta say I'm pretty glad I did.
I'm sure you are. So yeah, season one. Season one does a great job just getting a lot of the base world building in. We get introduced to all of the main staples of Rimuru's ensemble. We get introduced to the goblins, the dire wolves, the ogres, the lizard men, uh, and then maybe more influential, and the more influential people of his little entourage being the King of Dwargon and Milm. And then also, Shizu and the adventurers. Shizu obviously playing a very large role in Rimuru's character uh, building and just overall how he is going to continue throughout the story and helping him set maybe some goals that he wants to accomplish, things he wants to do, a part of which we do get to see towards the end of season one, where he does help out the kids that Shizu was teaching at the school for otherworlders. So when I originally stumbled upon the series, only season one was out at the time, so I this is what I had. Unlike Kevin, I didn't, watch season one and two basically at the same time. It was quite a gap in time, not too terribly long, maybe 6 months to a year between me watching season one and the first half of season two airing. But I very much fell in love with it. This was right when I was binging a lot of darker fantasy and isekai series, so this was definitely a very welcome sight of a much more lighthearted, fun-going series when I was coming off things like ReZero, Fate, and Berserk, things of that nature. So, and still, it's just definitely a fun uh, little isekai, and especially because it does have a lot of emphasis on world building and just the established bonds. I don't think Kevin's watched it yet, but Slime Diaries too just takes that a step further with the slice of life kind of view of everyday life in Tempest, and that definitely added to my love of the characters and everything going on. And I just think when it comes to world building, the show's in a class of its own.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't watched it. It's definitely on my list though. And yeah, I gotta say, dude, honestly, the world building, I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't really watched a lot of isekais, right? But even compared to Overlord, I feel like that time I got reincarnated as a slime does a way better job at it. I don't know. That might be just me though, because it might just be a
No,
little bit fresher in my mind. But
no, I definitely get, because I think like with Overlord and a lot of other shows, it's like they have this really grandiose picture they want to paint, and there's only so much you can do on like a smaller scale when you have this big picture you want to paint, versus like Tensei Slime is like we have a big picture, but we're also still going to spend a lot of time, really painting the smaller portions of it and really introducing you to everything.
all right, so season two, um, there might be some spoilers. I will say if I can't really go around something, spoiler alert, so you can kind of just skip through it. So season two honestly grabs you and just throws you. It definitely feels a lot of a faster pace than season one. And, you know, before this, me and Scott had a lovely discussion on which season had more talking, which ended up taking maybe 15 minutes, maybe not, but
So a brisk little 5-minute conversation.
it was just a quick combo. But honestly, season two was so well written that it just feels so much faster paced, even though it has maybe a little bit less talking than season one, but it just flows so well with one another. Each episode honestly leaves you wanting more and more and more. Um, it definitely starts you off strong with a war that ends up happening, and in that war, there's a lot that happens. There's more new characters that get introduced. You kind of start to see how everything starts to get developed. And spoiler alert, Rimuru finally decides to become a demon lord. And I'm sorry I couldn't go past that because it kind of. I have to say that in order for the rest to make sense. Because the rest of season two definitely involves a lot of him being a demon lord because it introduced every other demon lord um, in that world so far that we know of. Well, Dora finally comes out of his imprisonment, and after that, it's just basically planning on this demon lord meeting that I forget the name of it. What was the name of it?
Warpolgus.
Sorry, one more time.
Warpolgus.
Warpolgus. Warpolgus. Even though there's still another mini war still going on the sidelines. Honestly, I can't wait for season three. I know there's a movie coming out soon, but I honestly can't wait. I really can't wait. And it's so good that honestly I kind of want to get the light novels and just read through them. But what I ended up liking about season two is that, again, I already said this, but it was so well written. It definitely felt way faster paced. I honestly couldn't imagine what Scott had to go through watching it week by week, right, as the episodes came on, because I could not put it down. I just had to watch the whole entire thing. It took me 2 days to watch it, but in all fairness, when I started it, it was already really, really late, and I noticed that it was already around 3 a.m. and I needed to go to sleep because I had to work the next day. But after that, I ended up finishing it.
What a
Um,
normie.
huh?
That's something a normie would do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unfortunately,
Filthy casual.
I need a little bit of sleep. Okay, I need a little bit of sleep.
Bro, the day that I watched Horimiya, I went to bed at 5 a.m. and still got up at 9 to go to work.
Shit, dude. I ended up going to 5 a.m. too, but I didn't have work the next day. But anyways, honestly, season 2, I want to say it was better than season 1, where season 2 just absolutely blows it out of the water. Uh Again, the world building just goes up into another level, I feel like, in season 2. And just the way they introduce the characters is just, it's so amazing, because like I gotta say, I don't feel like everything usually tends to go their way, but at the same time, I feel like everything does go their way, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
but Rimru's got like the power of like a fucking god, dude.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, there's really very little room to go off that, but
And like even at one point, I forget, at some point they mentioned that the fucking ogres, all of them are like more powerful than most demon lords or something. Like
yeah,
literally,
I think they're called something else though,
yeah,
from the first time they evolved, but I forget what it
they
was.
evolve twice. They evolve a second
Right,
time when he becomes a demon
right,
lord.
right, right.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're called. And I also don't remember because like there's different names, like some like how the lizard men evolve differently. They have like, and I don't remember if it was the same thing with the ogres. If like Shion and Suna evolve differently than the three their three male counterparts or whatever. Kind of like
Right.
because like with the lizard men, you had people stay looking like lizards, like Gabiru, um, but then like his sister became more human like, and
Right.
yeah, so I just don't remember. That's why I'm just referring to them as the ogres.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I understand. But no, I still think they ended up all evolving into the same thing on the first evolution. The second evolution, I'm not
I,
100% sure,
yeah,
but I know the first one they definitely did. But anyways, and I gotta say, they definitely show it, especially when Shion like just fucking absolutely wails on Clayman, bro. She's able to like basically go one on one with him. But yet again, you can also make the statement that Clayman is probably one of the weakest demon
well,
lords.
he hadn't gone through the
Oh, evolution yet.
yeah, so he
Right, right,
wasn't,
right. You're
yeah,
right. You're right. You're right. I
but
definitely forgot about that.
that still, she's like, he's still like he's still hella powerful, and she just wails on him like he's nothing. And
Right.
then you had Benny Maru one shot whatever Carabaldus.
The big
Uh,
fish. We're gonna call it the big
the
fish. I
big
know a
thing.
lot of people are gonna cringe at that, and we're probably gonna get some hate for it, but we'll call it the big fish.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they say that like it was like not a fully like resurrected version of it, but like literally everyone else was freaking out on like what they were gonna do, and this man just like one shots it like it was nothing.
Right. Like everybody was, even they started healing their own
The
their the
enemies.
enemies
Yeah.
in order to have enough manpower to like go up against it. And yeah, he just one shots it. And it's interesting because he says, the thing that he says where he's like, I wish you were at your full state so I could play with you a little bit. So that kind of shows that his confidence is so high that he can still go one on one with it at full strength.
Right.
And just to give it a little bit of a backstory, they ended up fighting that at full power, I believe, right? In
Yeah, and
season 1, and it took their whole entire army plus the
no, they
fuck.
couldn't. They literally they couldn't do it. They had to let Milne kill it.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it. They had to let Milne kill it.
Right, but they wanted to do it themselves. It took, so
Right.
just for reference, it took their army. It took some of the fuck. Might
They
mispronounce this.
they had a
Wargon,
Dwargon. They had 100
Wargons,
I think it was like
Pegasus.
100 Pegasus Knights from Dwargon.
Right, and the Pegasus are basically like a secret army, right? That nobody knows about.
Secret,
Like special
yeah,
army, special
yeah, like
unit.
this, like their special forces.
Right. So it took them plus God, who else? There was another one that joined the fight that ended up sending
The
troops to them.
Beastmen, right? The Beastmen.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the Beastmen, because they felt guilty.
Yeah, because it was their dude who
Yeah,
was used as the vessel for the rebirth of it.
right. But it wasn't that many. I think it was maybe like four of them that just showed
Yeah,
up.
yeah. It was just like their. Well, they were like the most powerful, other than the Beast Lord himself, who was a demon lord.
Right.
But yeah, they literally couldn't do anything. Like they didn't want Milm to get involved because they didn't want to rely on her power. But they're literally like, yeah, we can't do this, Milm. You're just gonna have to handle it.
Well, they ended up doing that because Rimuru could have definitely just used Predator, but they ended up doing it because Rimuru ended up realizing that the guy that was being used as the soul core,
He would have been
he was
killed.
no, he was doing it because of fucking Malene
Milm.
Milm. I'm gonna say Malene because that's how they
Oh
said it
my
in the dub
god.
version.
Ugh!
So he was doing it because of her, because she ended up humiliating him. So then that's when Rimuru said, you know what, this is you because he's actually after you.
Oh, that's right. I remember that at one point he's like, "Oh yeah, he's after Milm." So
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, this is her problem. Let her deal with it." That's right.
Yeah, and then like he basically just says, just make sure you don't kill him, like,
Yeah,
and take it easy, and then she just one shots it.
yeah.
But yeah, it definitely shows like a lot, and honestly, I'm very excited for season 3. I'm extremely excited for the movie. I can't wait for the movie to come out. But yeah, I kind of rambled a little bit on season 2 there a little bit, but do you have anything to say?
Bro, just when they wailed on those fucking otherworlders that were being like total POSs to them.
Oh, bro, that was so. God, I forget the old man's name, dude, but he's so
Yeah.
fucking badass.
Dude, they're all hella
I
badass.
gotta say, dude, I gotta say, so this anime actually ended up surprising me at that point, just because, like when they kill somebody or when somebody ends up dying, right? Well, mostly, well, I think up to that point, they kind of just show a slash, right, and then there's blood, and things like that. So I kind of wasn't expecting
Typical.
it to like take a very dark turn on that fight, but spoiler alert, where he just absolutely fucking beheads a dude and then throws his head at the other guy and says, "Is this who you're looking for?" That took me by surprise, bro. That I was just like, "What the actual, you know,
Yeah.
what am I watching right now?"
Right.
But that was such a badass scene, dude. I was at the edge of my seat when they started fighting those guys, because I like honestly they were so well written that they just made you fucking hate them instantly,
Yeah.
like instantly, bro. As soon as they
Like,
got introduced, you just like, dude, I hope these guys get what they're coming for, what's coming to them.
yeah. Because it wasn't like a corny, like, like the corny, like super evil characters. It wasn't like that. Like, these were like genuinely people that you could believe were real and like how some people think. And you're just like, God, I hope you fucking get what's coming your way.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And I gotta say, I feel like they do such a great job at doing that with every single character they introduce, bro. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do something a little bit different this time. We're going to go ahead and put this on a tier list. So we're never going to really try and compare animes, right? We're just going to basically put them on this tier list on how we felt this anime ended up doing, right? So it's going to be your typical tier list, which is S, A, B, C, D, and then are we going to add an F tier?
Yeah, just do an F tier, no
Yeah,
E
all right.
tier
We're going
though.
to put an F tier in there. Um,
I don't know if we'll ever talk about F tier because I don't know if I'd ever watch an I've only watched one anime I'd consider F tier, so
yeah. So I mean, we'll have it there just in case we come across that anime. We're just like, dude, what the fuck am I watching, right? But
right, right.
we'll add in there. But anyways, time to go ahead and pick a tier on this one. What do you think? What are your opinions on it? I already have mine. Where do you
I
think this anime goes on this tier list?
so I'm between an A and an S. It's just like I'm trying to think of like what else I would give an F and not, an S and how it compares to this. What about you?
Honestly, I would say S tier, bro. I honestly really, really fucking love this anime. Like, I really fucking love it. Like honestly, season two just made everything so much clearer for me, right? On how much I love this anime. Like season one is really, really good, right? But season two, I feel like it just takes it to a whole other level.
Right.
So that's why I want to say it's an S tier. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying it's an S tier right now, all right? So from season one to season two, it's an S tier. For example, we feel like season three didn't do as well, and, we kind of take it down. We'll kind of make a video about that. But for right now, I want to make it clear season one and season two, for me right now, puts this anime in an S tier. And, another reason, like I said, I haven't watched too many isekais, right? But basically from what I can go from Overlord, right, is that I feel like this does a way better job at world building. I feel like it takes the time, right? So like a character is introduced, it takes the time to actually introduce that character. It's not like, okay, here's this character, this is what their name, this is their role, this is what they do. It actually takes the time and introduces you to that character by having different interactions with different characters that have already been introduced, not just with the main character, but how they interact with one another.
Right. I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean, while they're both isekais, I just view them differently, you know? So
No,
it's like,
yeah, I definitely, yeah, I agree with that.
but,
Again, like I said, we shouldn't really compare one anime to another, but I'm just comparing the world building. I'm not comparing the two animes as a whole.
I don't know. Like the ones that, like, I think it's an S tier.
S tier?
Yeah.
Damn, fucking first video and our first S tier, bro. The way I want to end this video is, what was your favorite opening? And now, I'm sorry, I know a lot of people say, you should also give love to endings as well, right? But whenever I bench watch something, I go from episode
Yeah,
to
just,
episode,
yeah.
so I don't pay attention to
Yeah.
them. I'm sorry. I'm just
Yeah,
that
neither
type
do
of
I.
person.
I
I'm
can't,
just that type of person.
I can maybe think of like a handful of endings I watch.
Yeah, so it's like it's kind of hard for me. I'm sorry. I know. A lot of people say you should definitely give some love to the endings, but whenever you just want to keep going, you just go from episode to episode. But anyways, what is your favorite opening, bro? What was your favorite opening?
It's got to be the one from the Warpolgus arc.
Uh,
So episodes 37 through 48.
so season two, second opening.
Yep.
That's very interesting because I was actually gonna pick the same thing. It was between two. It was between two. It was between season one second opening, and then season two second opening. And I gotta say, the reason why it was between both of those is just because it does such a great job at syncing the freaking song with what's actually going on in the animation, bro.
Right. Yeah.
With
One
both
hundred
those
percent.
opening, with
Yeah.
both those
That's.
opening.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I would.
But I gotta
That's why I
say,
picked them.
season two is it's just like there's so much going on already, right? And especially right now, if you end up watching everything at once, there's so much going on already that episode just the opening just makes you hype up a lot more. You know, because you're like you're already hyped from the previous episode. You see this, the song is honestly extremely good. It's synced up with the animation, so it just hypes it up even more. So I feel like that's why I ended up leaning more towards the second opening of season two than the second opening of season one. But I gotta say they both do a great job. But yeah, I gotta say give it up to season two. Second opening was probably the best opening of that whole entire series. Anyways, if you made it to the end, I personally want to say thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Do you have any last words?
Shion, best girl.
All right. Well, that's
Shun-
what happens when you watch too much animes. All right. So make sure you take a
Shuna,
break.
Shuna close second.
Make sure you guys take a break. Okay. Don't become Scott. Don't become Scott. All right. Thank you for watching. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next one.